GJ12 9. The 12's mostly really good, nice and calm the build. That's what we're looking for here, is that cruise into the build from the J. And just a little more help there, please, from Nadia with your hip, just to keep it closed. And the reason for that, guys, I'm not just being pedantic about the build of the block. It's that if we have this slight fan shape here, the piece tends to rotate more in place. And then it has to over-rotate, and then we get that feeling of too much of excess power at the end. So if we keep that hip in there, it kind of forces, so it would be Otto now, forces Otto to go this way for the first move. But if you look here, because we're already at this angle, Otto's move tends to be more in this direction. So we want in Otto to go a little bit straighter. But if it builds like this, it goes with the territory. See that, how it's already rotating in place. And so now you guys have the feeling of either walking at the end of the block or over-rotating and extra power. Let's have a look at this build and start. Yeah, it's actually suffering a little bit from that. You guys are making some good gains on the block in some areas, but I think the build and that initial move, there we go, let's check this. And the part of it is knowing where you're going to from the J. Like, Nadia not moving forward to the block, just really keeping your hip really strong here. Yora just turning in place. There we go, that's good. If I look at Nadia, you see how you're moving. Let me just put the cursor there. It's not a big deal, but it's enough. I mean, that's shifted 50 centimeters, and it would just, I would prefer to see that a little bit tighter there. It can be a little bit wider here so that you guys have somewhere to go, but just to get that little walk happening at the beginning rather than at the end. Some nice steady flow through this, some really good random builds as well. Picking up some confidence now. And the other thing as well is with the pieces with that just slightly wider picture between you guys here. Remember when we're spinning the piece, when we get to this point, I'm trying to see virtually no daylight. Like I really want to see no daylight through there as you guys spin that piece in place. And it just lets me know that there is a little bit of tension if I can see some gaps through there. Again, same with you, Otto, just keep your center point still. If you start cruising forward at the build of this 12, your hips open up, and already now look at this shape. We can do the block, but we're working against the shape. So if we have to do the block from this shape, no worries, but then Nadia has to think more about going to here, and you have to kind of think about backing up with her at the start of the block. Otherwise the piece is just going to rotate around its center point, you see that? And then now we're over-rotating the piece. We've got the back pair being ready to make it short for us, but it's just not happening.